got a customer, Jimmy, coming in with an old Ford Falcon.
You need a bigger car.
Or we need a smaller dude.
Yeah.
Jimmy's a ex-wrestler.
Everything's tiny except the motor.
Wants this little car.
Who does that out of a flat piece of metal? Who does that? Chad does.
Chad was definitely the guy for this project. He's a top-of-the-line, world-class fabricator. If Chad was a wrestler, what name would you give him?
The Metal Whisperer.
Done.
The Metal Whisperer.
And when the Ford Falcon came out, it wasn't very cool, so we got to make it cool.
Probably the most hated car in the world.
We're doing you a favor.
What do y'all do? I've got a plan for a hot little motor.
Right there.
Oh, man, that's perfect.
Look, I know y'all say your motors have all kinds of power.
Bam! I'm like a little kid at Christmas time right now. Just come on. Like,
But this motor really is gonna get you.
I'm Joe Martin. I've been building cars and bikes since I was just a little kid. My team hunts down rusted wrecks.
Are we gonna work today, Joe, or what?
We knock out the ugly and put in the cool. And turn these buckets of rust into street art. This is Iron Resurrection. Today we've got a busy day. We've got a customer, Jimmy, coming in
morning.
with an old Ford Falcon.
My name's Jimmy Diesky, and I'm from Argyle, Texas.
Look at this thing.
A little Ford, right?
Look at there.
This car here is a 1965 Ford Falcon.
What's happening, Jimmy?
What's up, dudes?
The car was in another shop, and the guys just couldn't get it fit on their schedule, so Jimmy brought it to us. So
You need a bigger car.
I need a bigger car?
You need a bigger car.
or we need a smaller dude.
Yeah. It'd be easier to get a bigger car.
Jimmy's a ex-wrestler.
I was live on Channel 5 down in Memphis, Tennessee.
So Jimmy wants this little car to ride around in. So we got to fit this big old dude in this little car.
I want to get it finished
The way
to
you want it.
the way that I want it. And that's, like I said, my buddy Gary Hopper said, you need to get it down to Joe and Amanda, And I said, let's make it happen.
So we met Jimmy, and then we find out the little car that Jimmy brings.
What's kicking, Jimmy?
What's up?
So yeah, this is gonna be exciting to fit this big wrestler guy in this little bitty Falcon.
A kind of cool story. This was my 50th birthday present to myself. Midlife crisis, whatever you want to call it, but I'm okay with it.
He's got a pretty long list of modifications he wants to do. Yeah, what do you want to do for a motor, Jimmy?
I've got a plan for a hot little motor. I'm thinking, and to all the Ford folks out there, I'm not doing LS. And this is if it fits.
Oh, it'll
If it fits. I'm thinking a Coyote.
Oh, make it fit.
I'm thinking Coyote. I'm thinking Coyote Illuminator.
Ah, okay.
You're going all the way to
Nice.
Yes, I'm thinking Coyote. Maybe a Supercharged. Keeping it Ford all the way.
Big boy motor.
Yes, so,
This is going to need to be raised up. So
yeah.
we'll have to come up with something cool.
Well, that's why it's here, because you're going to come up with something cool.
All right.
That's why it's here. I'm excited. But my wife's big caveat when she let me do this, she said, honey, I want to pick the color. And I'm like, ooh.
And you said,
Ooh, I said,
okay.
yes, ma'am. I said, yes, ma'am. I said, yes, ma'am.
Yeah, gum. yeah, no more gums.
Okay, you got any more
No
gums?
more gums.
Well, Jimmy, we appreciate the opportunity to work on it. We've never worked on one of these, man.
Dude, like I said before, it needs an iron resurrection.
There it is, man. Chad, I see you've been laying some tape on this car, man.
Yeah, we're checking these lines out.
How they look, man? Not good?
From the door forward, we're good. A ton of body lines here that are coming together. The quarter panels are about a half inch too high in the back. So
Really?
the body line's dropping down, and then as soon as it hits the quarter, it kind of levels out.
Oh, man, I see it.
Yeah, it's definitely turned into a bigger project. You know, we saw the quarter panels. When the quarter panels were welded on, I think just the heat distorted it. One side's concave, the other side's, convex coming out a little bit. So,
And that's one thing, but I think the thing that I noticed that's even worse than that is this dips both sides, it's got like a dip that goes this way.
Chad's pretty much going to handle most of the fabrication work on this car. For such a little car, it's going to be a big pain in the ass. Yeah.
Big things come in small packages.
Well, I mean, that's a little car with a lot of issues. And Chad's new here at the shop. He's a killer fabricator. He's been at it for years. He worked at a really well-known shop called the Roadster Shop. They're really well-known in the industry. And so Chad's decided to move to Texas. And now we're fortunate enough to have him here. Well, I mean, you can see the front now. It kind of comes to a peak. And then that one's flattened out.
I think the executives at Ford were like, hey, can we get a few more lines on those cars?
Yeah. Right there, man, right there. We got Jimmy's Falcon in here, and one of the things we wanted to do was measure for the wheels. So I ordered a set of custom wheels for it. Let's slip it in there, man.
Initially, what we're going to be doing is getting wheels and tires underneath it, getting it set at the correct ride height.
Oh, yeah. We need to make a little adjustment there.
Yeah, I need a lug, Joe, if I can put it on here, if I can pull the tire out.
Make sure that the stance is there, because that's pretty much the most important part.
Well, I mean, we close, but we ain't that close, you know what I'm saying? We're homeboys. There we go. I mean, we're homeboys.
So when you order these wheels, you know, one off, you know, you order them and they come and they're wrong, you own them.
So what size is this tire, Joe?
315, 19. So we just want to double check. So we get the tire first, put it on the tool, and then just make sure we don't have any clearance issues. Once we get it, we can just take those parameters, call a wheel company, and get the right wheel coming. Come on down, just a little bit. Right there, perfect. We want to make sure when we order these wheels, they're going to be right. They're going to bolt on, nothing rubbing, no obstructions.
There, now you can at least get your hand in there, you know?
Oh man, that's perfect.
Well, it'll come out. There you go. It's like, that's why it would come out. I mean, who the hell wants these low hot rods? I mean,
You know, when the Ford Falcon came out, they call it a Kano box. Nobody back then thought that these cars were going to be cool. They were considered just cheap, bottom of the line transportation, you know, like a disposable car. You drive for a few years and dent it up, and it's usually going to end up in the wrecking yard. Fast forward all these years, and now the Falcons is a collectible car somewhat. And people are putting a lot of money in them. They're drag racing them. They're fixing them up, taking them to car shows. And so, yeah, it wasn't very cool. So we got to make it cool. You know, obviously the body lines on it are kind of neat on this car. We talked about maybe a little wing on here. Make it a little different. So when you pull this car up next to another stock 65 Falcon, you know, somebody's going to be scratching their head going, what'd they do to that car?
I mean, you give me the deluxe drawing.
Well, it's just a quickie sketch.
I mean, look at the see-through windshield stuff. I mean, the deluxe.
Like coming at your ass,
This
Mike.
look like you're running down the road.
Look, coming at you, Mike. Man, look cool. We may look like that.
Well, let's just make it look like
Chad to be the man. We were talking about some ideas. I hope we're on the same page here.
Me too.
Well, we got a little sketch for you, Chad.
Nice.
Ideas we talked about.
Yeah. That looks good, man.
You were saying the other day it's starting to look like a barracuda.
It does.
It does.
But that's the challenge, man. Making it look like that.
So we got to make sure Jimmy is down with this.
Man, if he sees that, he's going to fall in love with it.
I think he would.
Well, I got Joe's rendering of the front end of this car and decided to start with the lower balance first. The original 65 Falcon had nothing below the bumper. The bumper was basically the whole front balance. Now we're shortening up the bumper and adding a lower balance just to give a little more style and kind of reduce the size of that truck-like bumper.
You got a metal finish to perfection, looks like.
Thanks.
I think Brandon's he's gonna love that.
I hope he does. He should be my new best friend.
Look at this thing, man. A work of art. Ford Falcon's coming along great. They just need a lot of cosmetic help.
I think it turned out pretty cool.
Well, you know, it always looks easier on paper.
That's right.
But then when it comes out looking like this, it's like, damn. You know, we're trying to just make it look a little longer, not look so top heavy. You know, trimming the front bumper. Yeah, this looks great, man. Now we got to make the back end look as good as the front.
Yeah.
Yeah, we got to come up with something for the back.
Now that Chad's got the front end all finished up and looking great, we need to go to the back. Extending the back end with the spoiler and some, the body mods in the back.
The car, when you look at it from the side, what we notice is like the fenders, the doors, the quarters are all the same size. So what we're trying to do, give the back of the car some extra length. So by adding this wing on here, it should stretch the car back a little bit.
Man, that's cool. We want to kind of give the car appearance that's just a little bit longer, not so stubby. That's exactly what that needed.
Yeah, I think it drags the car out pretty good.
It damn sure does. And that little piece looks great on there.
It's kind of the same angle here as the deck lid was, just to try to...
Chad was definitely the guy for this project. I mean, his fabrication skills are, world class.
That's going really good. Just getting this thing fit up to the body. We got the back piece on, and that's pretty much fitted. Now I just have to match this piece to that and the body at the same time. So just kind of getting it so that it sits on here in a relaxed state and there's no pressure on it. As soon as I can get this thing to sit like in a relaxed state on the body, and you're not trying to sit like right here, it's not touching. You don't want to be forcing that down and welding it because all that pressure is going to remain there, and when you weld it, it's going to come right back. So it just makes it hard to finish out in the end. So right now it's just a tedious task of stretching, shrinking, replenishing and spots just so you can get it to kind of sit where you want.
So we're getting to the part on the 65 Falcon. I mean, all the guys are scrambling for parts.
I had to do the horn. It makes me laugh.
Well, Amanda called me and said, hey, we need some Falcon parts. You know anybody?
Hey. Let's go in this. Let's go in this is my buying car.
Bama Brown says he knows a guy with 65 Falcon parts. I like it.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go ahead and go with that. Hey, this thing has a reverse backup camera.
It's man.
That's fancy.
First class.
Dang.
A guy I know that I really trust knows a guy that knows this guy. So, but that's how these deals come around,
This guy's got a little bit of everything. We pull up and it's like, there's so much here.
It's a Firebird.
Oh, is that 67?
You see the stuff out front, and then you start unraveling the treasure. All right, don't get excited.
Wait, is that 67?
I think it is.
Ah!
68, because that vent window.
Oh, they got a Mustang, got some mowers, some tractors, some RVs. They got it all here.
Don't squeal when you see it. Hey guys, how's it going?
Oh,
hey.
hi. Are you rusty?
I am.
All right.
How can I help you guys?
Man, I don't know yet because we thought we were coming to look at one thing, but Jiminy.
Well, where do you want to start? I got everything from built cars to remote control stuff to, I got a bunch of stuff. It's endless.
Well, I know we came to look at 65 Falcon parts, but holy
What is this Vega back
hell,
here,
we got
man?
a lot of stuff going on here.
That is a diamond in the rough.
Look at this. Oh, my God.
That's what that car is. It's an old Vega race car. I just love them. I love Vegas, any Vega. And then we look over there and there's this Pro Mod vet.
63 split window.
Oh, man.
Are you kidding? Wow. Well, what's the story with both of these cars? So you were going to drive them?
I'm going to drive both of them, yeah.
This is like dreamland.
It's like Toys R Us for adults.
We could look at these all day long, but we came to get these parts that we heard you might have.
For a Falcon?
Yeah,
65 Falcon.
Down this way, guys. This is a 65 Ranchero I got
I
last
love this
summer.
Ranchero.
Man, I know some guys in
Thank
the
you.
shop that'd be interested in this baby.
Oh, man, look at that.
Oh, yeah, back in the day. 3 on the tree, which you don't see anymore.
Back when you could actually work on them.
Yes. I'm going to just get it rolling. That's going to be my highway vehicle.
Once we got those nasty old quarter panels off the Falcon and added that spoiler on there, it really, the car really looks like something now. It doesn't look like an ugly duckling anymore.
So here's the back end of the 65 Falcon. Yeah, the back of the car needs to be altered radically. Chad's got some really cool ideas about doing some diffusers in here, Frenching in the license plate. And bumper's big and bulky. It looks like a big snow shovel or something. So I think we'll just eliminate it and do another one.
I made a pattern on the back of the body, and I'm just starting to fit some sheet metal in there. There's a bunch of lines that are going to have to be tipped. It's going to be actually a pretty intricate piece back here to make. There's a lot going on. Right now, I'm kind of dialing in the back shape of this rear balance. I'm just cut some thin sheet metal just to try to bend it around here and tack it together. That way I can eventually, once I am happy with the way it looks, I can lay paper over that and make a pattern of the piece of metal that I'm going to end up shaping. By making this and making a good paper pattern, I'll just be able to reverse that. That way, both sides are as close as you can get them to being the same. So, what was once a flat piece of sheet metal is now forming into the corner of this bumper. We've got a little bit more shrinking to do. As you can see, it's not fitting tight here. You don't want to like put this under any pressure and tack it in place under pressure. You want it to lay flat as you possibly can get it. So we'll do some more shrinking, but you can see how it's kind of coming into shape here. I'll get it to where it lays flat, and then I'll come back in and trim it out to where it fits in the corner, and then tack it all in, weld it all up.
So he just overall enhances the whole back end of the car. And I think with some refinement, I think it would look really cool.
Everything's going along really good. We've got the bumper done, and then I started doing the diffuser panels. So I've got the rear section of them finished up. They've been welded and filed smooth. And now I'm just making the underneath side that'll go under the car and kind of wrap underneath or over the gas tank. It's kind of like a belly pan / diffuser. There's another piece of sheet metal that's going to go from the back side of this mountain and it'll roll underneath like this. And then after that, we're going to add 2 fins on this, one here and one here, kind of centered up in there. And those will just be little fins that bolt on right here. So this is the beginning of the piece that's going to go under the car. It just kind of fits underneath like that. I've got this side kind of fitted up in there. You can see it.
Damn, man. It's a work of art, boy.
Yeah, this is like, so when the car first came in and we're looking at it and it's like, oh man, we got to take the quarter panels off. That's kind of the stuff that's not very fun. But you get past all that, and this is the icing on the cake. This is all the cool stuff to do. I'm like getting more and more excited about this thing.
Oh, man,
as it goes on.
What do you think, man?
I dig it, man.
I think we'll still keep this thing here?
Working on the 65 Falcon. We're about to address the hood scoop situation.
You dig
but
the
I like
feature
this
too?
Oh yeah.
Okay. Cool. It's always great working with Chad. I mean, he's a top of the line, world class fabricator. What kind of height do you think, Chad?
About where you got your hand, man. Exactly. Really? That's exactly it. Yeah. And then I was thinking maybe to add those beads through the center.
Yeah.
So
Absolutely.
gotta play with everything else that's been on the car.
One of the most rewarding things is when you're doing sketches and drawing everything, and you actually create that part in a 3-dimensional form. I mean, that's nothing beats that. Damn, Chad.
What do you think?
Yeah, it's looking there, man.
Awesome.
I mean, that is aggressive looking.
So this is the piece of aluminum that the scoop's going to get made out of. And basically, it's the pattern laid out flat. On this particular panel, I'm going to start in the middle and work my way out because I have to do the beads in the middle. So I'm basically working my way from the inside out. And I get one shot because if it gets messed up somewhere along the line, I got to start over again. A lot of the scoop has just been formed, which is basically bending it around a tube, very simple shape. Now we're going to get into some shaping, which is actually making a compound curve. I will do all the shrinking in the Pullmax, and then I'll just put it up on my table and then hand planish them out so I can really control it. Just keep everything as smooth as possible.
I like this, yeah. 2-door post.
We need the window tracks, window guides from the doors and quarter windows. If we can get all 4 window regulators, if you're willing to part with them.
Probably go with the gold one because that one's going to be a gasser, so I can strip that one out. Right.
Okay.
Doesn't bother me.
This was like the perfect storm for exactly what we needed.
So you need the window regulators?
Yeah, and he's building a gasser, so he
Yeah.
didn't need the parts that we needed. I think we'd take it. I think I'd take everything he doesn't need. So
Yep.
what would get it all that you don't get since you're throwing it away?
Need
So
2 car. What?
What do you think you got to have for that stuff?
I don't know. Everything you guys need. $400.
He wanted $400, and then
He came in pretty hard with that.
yeah, I mean, you know, we're struggling over there. What do you gotta have for these parts that you were probably gonna throw away anyway? $200 to get it all? Yeah.
What's the floorboard look like? What's this look like? What's that? Why has it got rust? What's
Right. And see, we're just sitting here going, here's $200
I mean, are there
cash.
a lot of Falcon customers in the area?
Oh no, there's nobody runs those
65
anymore.
Falcon?
Probably the most hated car in the world.
We're doing you a favor.
what are y'all doing? y'all holding in on me?
Listen, we're over budget in this car, like big time. So we're needing that brother-in-law deal.
You know, I started at 4. He took me to 2. He's a cheapskate, you know, but he's a cool guy. We made a deal.
$200 to get it all.
Oh,
Done deal,
nice. Okay.
Everybody's happy.
The parts that we got from Rusty today are parts that we can't buy anywhere.
These were perfect,
He saved
too.
our butts today.
Remember, get their friendship, get their trust,
And take
get their money. Yes, exactly.
So now that the scoop is finished, I'm gonna go ahead and cut the hole through the hood. So I'm just gonna, one last time, make sure that's the exact hole that I want, and we should be good. Got the lines laid out on the hood of the hole I actually want to cut through the hood, and I'm gonna use a cone wheel and just zip that skin right off of there. Just put scoop on top. Well, I want to make sure that I cut this hood right the first time. You really don't want to have to weld on a hood skin if you don't have to. It's just a big flat piece of metal, and it's always kind of hard to get them back straight and solid again. Kind of one shot deal, so just get it the first time. Well, once we got the engine in the car, we realized that the engine wasn't getting into the hood as much as we thought. But we're trying to make the car look cool, so adding a nice scoop to the car is going to further add to the look overall. So we're going to go a little bit taller than necessary, but in the end, it's going to look pretty cool.
But I'm sitting here eyeballing it. We're good.
Okay.
These things get heavier as the higher they get.
Look at that bouncing. Does that make you feel comfortable? We're putting this Coyote motor in the 65 Falcon.
These things are heavy anyway without the blower on it.
Yeah.
It's a 4-cam motor, so heads are bigger.
Push it toward DJ a little bit, Joe.
It also is blessed with a supercharger.
DJ, kick it back toward Joe now.
So there's going to be somewhere in the neighborhood of 800 to 900 horsepower in this car.
Come on down.
Come on. The car's been lowered significantly. That means the drivetrain usually comes up inside of it more.
You're going to have to pull it back towards you. Yeah.
With this particular car, you cannot remove the core support. Can we go back?
I can't see.
Okay, now come back down a little bit.
This one you have to go up and over the top of it and lower it down.
Come on down a little more, Mike, a little bit more.
We just got to be careful as we set it in. We don't want to bounce it off the inner fenders and firewall and all that stuff. So we'll just take it easy, drop it in nice and slow, and then feed the transmission in from the other side.
I mean, that thing's gonna be cozy in there.
Yeah, we need to get this engine in there so I can see how I have to modify the hood to accommodate it.
Oh, come down, Mike.
Yeah.
We're on top of the motor mount on this.
Oh, there it is, right there.
Right there. Okay. Something fell in place.
I cannot believe how good this thing fit in here. It's gigantic on the floor.
It still looks gigantic. You know, when I first saw this motor, I was like, I don't think that thing's gonna fit. But now that it's in here, it's not that bad.
I gotta be honest with you, Chad. I didn't think it was gonna fit either.
So I'm working on the 65 Falcon seats for Mr. Jimmy. He's hopefully going to be coming in pretty soon, and I'd like to have everything blocked up and ready for him to kind of test fit. So this car came in bare bones, nothing inside whatsoever. No trim, no seats, no anything. The seats that I got for his car, they're a newer frame, and we've modified them to fit. We had to get the height just right. Now I'm having to get the width right for Mr. Jimmy because he's a big guy. Yeah, so right now I'm sculpting all the foam, I'm getting all my width, everything. I've got my centers like I like, really nice and comfortable. Now I'm working on the bolsters. So the bolsters are on the sides of the seats, and that's what kind of gives you, your feeling when you're ripping and roaring around the corners. Right now I've got my templates made. I've set a template up here. I kind of drew the design I want the bolster to be. Now I'll take that template, I'll go and I'll cut out all my foam. I'll actually start gluing it together, putting it in place, and then just kind of retrim it if need be, and then just kind of fitting and forming it like it's supposed to be, and then it'll have a final product. Hopefully when he gets here, there won't be a whole lot of changes. Hopefully he'll love it.
What you doing, Jimmy?
What's up, man?
How you doing, man?
I'm better now. I'm here at Martin Brothers to look at my Falcon. Ah, there he is. What's going on? I'm here. I get to see it in person. It's been a minute.
What do you think, man?
You know, the fin. Look at that. Who does that? Who does that? Out of a flat piece of metal. Who does that? You know, Chad does. I mean, I told Chad it's almost a sin to paint over that amazing metal work that he did, because you have to see the raw metal to appreciate just the craftsmanship. To see it in person and touch it is like, golly, that's nuts. It's just like, God, man, how does this guy do this? Dude, it's what this guy's done with metal.
If Chad was a wrestler, what name would you give him?
The Metal Whisperer.
Don.
The Metal Whisperer. Bam!
What would his outfit look like, man? What would his outfit
Shiny.
look like?
Dude, just he would make it. He'd make it. You know, he's not going to trash can. He'd get a soda can out. Hey, Mike, here's a fender. Now, today, I'm getting fitted for custom seats. Justin, Circle J Upholstery is hooking up some custom seat.
Doing good. How you doing, brother?
I can't wait to see, but not only sit in it, I can't wait to sit in those seats. Oh my gosh, look at that back seat, dude.
All right.
That's like the double bucket.
You're not going to fit back there, so
I'm not going to fit back there. Not many people are going to fit back there. As soon as I put that seat back, it's going to be like, but I told him ahead of time. I said, hey, you need to account for this 270-pound rear end that's going in those seats. I need some foam. I need some foam.
Damn.
Yeah.
Oh,
He fit.
I'm impressed.
I like it.
Huh?
Already.
Oh, dude, this is so nice. I have never had custom seats made for me.
Is that about the spot you can be riding?
Yeah, dude, that's...
Because you can come forward or you can go back a little bit more.
This is so nice.
Man, have you fit pretty damn good in it? Yeah, amazing, man.
See, I'm nimble. I'm like a little kid at Christmas time right now. Just come on, come on, come on, come on. I'm like,
Okay, what do we want to do now? 1 down, 20 to go. I don't know. Fuel the blaster. We're trying to get all the Falcon parts blasted. Did we plug the air into the machine? Did we get them nice and clean, fresh metal with no issues, no rust, no contaminants? So it's on?
Yeah, I can go turn it on.
So we can put a nice coat of epoxy on there, get the foundation started off right. I guess I'll shoot it that way so it doesn't hit y'all. We have some fenders, we have a door to blast, we got a couple miscellaneous parts for the Falcon. Woo! Looks like fun, doesn't it? I assure you, it's work. Whew. Oh man, well, we got these blasted. We're gonna blow them off, clean them, and they're ready to be epoxy primed.
So Chad just finished his hood project on the Falcon.
Well, the hood project is officially finished. Hood scoop's done. It's mounted. Underside brace is all fabricated. It's welded in. Latches are done. Safety catches in. Whole front of the car is wrapped up, minus the grill.
You know, when we started looking at the grill of this Falcon, we realized, man, this thing's beat up, it's dent up, it's thin. It's gonna be hard to straighten out. So we've done so many extensive modifications on this car that we figured with the grill, why not do another one?
We're just gonna build a grill.
In my original rendering, the actual drawing was a framework with some mesh, wire mesh in there. And so we decided to give it a little bit of a tweak.
So I started by making an outer framework, and then I'm going to do the upright in the center. So we've got the basic layout of what's going to be there. I just have to decide whether we want 6 bars or 5 bars or however many bars need to go in there. Do you think it'd look better with 5 grill bars or 6 grill bars?
What do you have up there now? 1, 2?
5 on this side, 6 on that side.
Oh, definitely 6, man.
That's what I was thinking.
What's going on over here, man? You get some tape laid out,
Yeah, I
Chad.
got this grill all mocked up.
You damn sure do.
Trying to decide between 5 or 6.
And I'm thinking the 5, man. I don't know, dude. That's a tough one. What do you think?
Well, I was leaning towards 6. I wanted to come up with something that we could cut out on the plasma table that could be folded up. That way we kind of reduce the amount of welding.
A little bit of dust everywhere.
So it's going to make it easier to fabricate those bars. Got the frame of the grill all welded together. All the uprights are welded in, so now it's time to install the grill bars that I made. I'm just taking off a little material at a time to try and get a really nice tight fit. Make a mark, grind it, put it back in, try and get it exactly where I want. And then once it's fitted, I can tack it in place.
The grill's complete on this car, and it was definitely worth going to the effort. I mean, the fabrication, the time that went into this thing. It's a one-off piece. I've never seen another one like it. You know, this Falcon's really come a long way, and Chad's pretty much finished with all the fab work. Now we're to the point where we can get this thing in body and paint. So the first thing we're going to do is get the undercoat on the car. That way we can get all the chassis components put together, make it a roller.
Oh, yeah. Chad, even on your knees, you won't be too tall, man.
So everything is painted now, so you just have to be careful while you're putting it together. It's tight, then you But the object here is to get the car sitting on its wheels and tires so that it simulates the car actually on the ground while they body work it. There you go.
Little stay.
Yep.
Right?
Yep. Just so there's no flexing or changing of the body shape.
All right. You need me for anything else?
No, man. Thanks for the apprenticeship, Mike.
But if you have any questions, man.
I feel really good, like I'm growing.
You're a quick learner, Chad.
I'm glad to be doing you proud, Mike.
Yeah, oh, you done me proud, man. I mean, you have arrived.
Too cold.
Yeah, too cold. Chad to the phone.
I think I was lukewarm when I got here, probably, right?
You were simmering a little bit.
Simmering,
yeah. You don't need me no more, dog.
Next step is to throw the third member in. Hey, Mike. Get it sealed up, slide the axles in, wheels and tires, back down on the ground, over to the body shop. We were working on the 65 Falcon seats. I got my design drawn, I've got all the patterns cut out. So now what I'm doing is I'm mimic the back seat to look just like the fronts in a bench style. It can get a little tricky because usually it's, you've got so much more width to work with. But this is my main accent design piece, so you try to keep it the same size, but in some cases you have to shorten it. We want to make them look fairly thin and just, we want to make it flow, really. It's going to be okay. I've got the back seat cover ready for the Falcon. I'm going to put one more coat of glue on. And then it should be ready to cover. And just kind of make sure everything's massaged in real nicely and fitting just perfect. For this particular car, we wanted to go with a nice, classy, crisp look. I'm pretty excited. I think Jimmy's gonna love it.
While I get the Falcon prepped and masked off, Chad's gonna mix the color. We have 3 different colors, so he's gonna mix that. Take some time off my hands so I can get the car ready, and we'll get this thing painted.
You know, Brandon's getting ready for a long night of painting here. I'm trying to help him out a little bit, get the paint ready for him to go. Man, the color combination is crazy. We got some metallic gold, we got a transparent brown, a mica yellow, a red brown. It's crazy that all this stuff gets mixed together and comes out as a really beautiful color. The color that we're using is going to accent all these body lines. It's just going to highlight the whole side of the car. So, not personally being a fan of orange, I'm really glad Jimmy wanted his car orange because I think this color is perfect for this car. This is a pretty awesome moment. We put a lot of hard work in these things, and, you know, they kind of become a part of you at a certain point. And this is the beginning of closure of this job, so it's a good feeling the paint's going on now. I'm going to stir it up. That's the magic. This orange color I like to call Orangelo. It reminds me of orange jello. And as a kid, that was my favorite jello. So, I'm sticking to that.
The color for the Falcon came about. Jimmy wanted some kind of a gray color, and I think his wife wanted some kind of an orange. So we came up with kind of a burnt orange, this bronzy orange. We added some gray highlights in it, such as the rear panel, the trim work, engine bay, it's all this gray. So I think they kind of got the best of both worlds.
It's been a long journey, a lot of body work, a lot of many hours, but we're finally putting the Falcon in the booth today to paint. I could just look at that all day, but it's like one weird thing, right? Great.
Well, currently Chad named the color Orangelo. Paint's gonna be very cool. It's not gonna be the regular bright, just, you know, flat, opaque, bright orange. We're gonna do something that's gonna have some bronze in it. A lot of times picking the colors of these cars is sometimes the trickiest part. You know, it's kind of like the icing on the cake. Take all this time to build the cake, and now you gotta come up with some icing for it. It's gotta look good, you know, because that's the first thing you see. So you'll put gold, you'll put red, pearl, you put a lot of colors in there to come up with this really cool brew. We just want it to hit on these body lines. This car's got some really cool indentions in it, and when that sun hits it, you know, you want it to accent it, you know, just make the colors kind of dance off all the different dimensions.
Chad, what's the plan? We'll just bring it right in.
So the boys were thrashing last night in the booth. Brandon got this thing painted about 5 o'clock in the morning. Chad was here overlooking everything, and we got it back on the lift, getting ready to put the motor in, start putting it together.
All right. Start coming down, DJ.
We got this big Coyote to fit in this little tiny car.
Back, little on back.
And now that we got the car painted, we got to be very careful. We don't want to nick it. We don't want to scratch it. So everybody's on it. We got to be very careful.
More?
Yeah. Oh. Down.
Oh, ah.
Hang on.
Bro,
That sensor. It's on the firewall. So the Falcon's all painted up, looks great. We still put the motor in. Big motor and a little car. Yeah. So right now we have power steering lines hitting the control arm.
So basically we just had to move the upper control arm out of the way so we can get it down in, and then we put the upper control arm back on.
It's going to be a really tight fit.
Perfect. That's scary.
That's tolerance right there. You know, here with the Falcon, we're finally starting to get it all back together. They're putting the body panels on it now. The motor's in it, the wheels are on it.
Good. Brandon and Brian just brought over the fenders and doors, and we got those installed. They look great. DJ's pumping away on the wiring right now.
Hey, I'm just getting wired up here, okay?
look at that.
Oh, yeah.
And basically, when they're bringing us painted parts, they'll be going around the car.
getting to a good spot. Now, I don't think Jimmy has seen this thing since we had it half torn apart in raw metal. So he has no clue what he's getting. That's a bad one.
This looks badass.
He's gonna be surprised.
We're excited about this car. This car was kind of an ugly duckling to begin with. And Chad did a killer job on it.
I don't know much about these Coyote motors. What's the story on it?
They're big.
They're big and they're powerful.
4-cam.
They go fast.
Especially with a blower on.
Yeah.
I mean, it sounds killer. Runs killer.
Got a smooth rumble, but it's still kind of ornery.
It is ornery, yeah. The sail panel's the coolest thing to me because you wouldn't notice it unless there's another Falcon sitting next to it.
Right.
Because it's so subtle, but it's so important.
I mean, every little detail was well thought out by you guys.
Yeah, there's no shortage of detail. The orange came out killer on this
It
car.
did. It really did.
And the gray just complements it perfectly.
It's just a beautiful car.
Yeah, it really did.
Didn't start out that way, though.
It didn't start out very beautiful. I think Jimmy's gonna have fun.
Fun's gonna be an
He's
understatement.
gonna have a good time with this thing.
I think that's gonna be an understatement.
Yeah, here at shop day is a big day, man. Jimmy's coming to see a 64 Falcon.
I'm just trying to guess how he's gonna react.
I just got butterflies because the car's so drastically different.
I'm here, and I know what that is
You're
like.
so close.
So close, but yet so far that I can I can smell it.
Smell it
I
in
can
there.
smell it. I just want to go see it. Oh my gosh. Wow. Woo. That's been a long time coming. Wow. I mean, it literally brought me to tears when I first walked in and saw it. Wow.
Look at that. Take a moment.
I am. Can you see it? I am taking a moment. That's nasty.
That's a good word for it.
Yeah, it's nasty. But beautiful.
Nasty, beautiful. What's your thoughts?
Oh my gosh, I'm blown away.
Orange is her favorite color.
What do you think of the color?
Love it. And I love the contrast in the orange and the
Because remember, Jimmy kind of wanted charcoal.
Yes.
Yes.
This is the best of both worlds.
The color's amazing. Amazing. I mean, it's just stunning.
The stance, the tires. That car looks like it's doing 100 miles an hour just sitting still because of the way he designed the sail panel in the back and the way he's got the stance.
Remember the sail
I
panel?
mean, it used to just,
Yeah.
you know,
Straight down.
it looks like it's going fast just sitting here.
Exactly.
It's
Mind-blowing. It's mind-blowing.
mind-blowing. If you go sit on the other side,
Yeah, go ahead.
and there's room. See that?
Wow. Right?
You know,
I
I mean,
got tons of room.
I can extend my legs out all the way. Oh, honey,
Nice.
honey. Look at that. Looks like the old school.
See how they brought the gray in through here?
Yes.
All that stuff's kind of brushed.
Just sitting in this thing, looking at that,
Yeah.
brings back memories of when I was 16.
Yeah, I know. Isn't that cool? Yeah.
It's nuts.
That's cool.
Because that's what I had.
Yes.
What Justin did, I mean, it's that clean and crisp and subtle, but yet classy. Classy to where it looks like it should have rolled off the factory line in 1965 like that.
You can go in front of this thing, man. Look at this hood scoop.
Out of a piece of cardboard. God.
Oh,
Oh my gosh.
that's beautiful.
Chad, he took this piece of cardboard and molded it and made that hood scoop, you know, the diffusers on the back. The whole front end of the car, the whole grill, the whole front end of that car.
Pop the hood.
We still got a lot of
Yeah, I got a lot of that. That's beautiful, guys. The engine, it's a Coyote. Not only is it a Coyote, but it's a Coyote illuminator. So it's the motor.
Just to see him finally see the car.
Wow.
He does so much for everybody else and for our family, and just to see him get something that's just for him, it's just really special.
Well, I like the way this idle's just nice, smooth.
Right?
Yeah, that's nasty.
It'll come unglued when you...
Yeah, that's a good word. That's a good word. It'll come unglued. Wow. To see it come to fruition and to see that car now is just, if you had told 16-year-old me, you know, I wouldn't have believed you. I don't know what to say other than thank you guys. And thank my family. Everybody that touched that car, everybody's been involved in the building of that car, the thought, the process, every little detail of that car, you've touched a part of our family. It's absolutely perfect.
बोलिए नाथों की नाथ की
Customer Jimmy coming in with an old Ford Falcon.
You need a bigger car.
Or we need a smaller dude.
Yeah.
Jimmy's a ex-wrestler.
Oh, nah. Everything's tiny except the motor.
Wants this little car.
Who does that? Out of a flat piece of metal, who does that? Chad does.
Chad was definitely the guy for this project. He's a top-of-the-line, world-class fabricator. If Chad was a wrestler, what name would you give him?
The Metal Whisperer.
Done.
The Metal Whisperer.
And when the Ford Falcon came out, it wasn't very cool, so we got to make it cool.
Probably the most hated car in the world.
We're doing you a favor.
What do y'all do? I've got a plan for a hot little motor.
Right there.
Oh, man, that's perfect.
Look, I know y'all say your motors have all kinds of power.
bam. I'm like a little kid at Christmas time right now. Just come on, come on, come on, come on. Like,
But this motor really is gonna get.
I'm Joe Martin. I've been building cars and bikes since I was just a little kid. My team hunts down rusted wrecks.
Are we gonna work today, Joe, or what?
We knock out the ugly and put in the cool. And turn these buckets of rust into street art. This is Iron Resurrection. Today we've got a busy day. We've got a customer, Jimmy, coming in
morning, morning.
with an old Ford Falcon.
My name's Jimmy Bieski, and I'm from Argyle, Texas.
Look at this thing.
A little Ford, right? Look at there. This car here is a 1965 Ford Falcon.
What's happening, Jimmy?
What's up, dudes?
The car was in another shop, and the guys just couldn't get it fit on their schedule, so Jimmy brought it to us. So
You need a bigger car.
I need a bigger car?
You need a bigger car.
or we need a smaller dude.
Yeah. It'd be easier to get a bigger car.
Jimmy's a ex-wrestler.
I was live on Channel 5 down in Memphis, Tennessee.
So Jimmy wants this little car to ride around in. So we gotta fit this big old dude in this little car.
I want to get it finished
The way you want it.
the way that I want it. And that's, like I said, my buddy Gary Hopper said, you need to get it down to Joe and Amanda, you know. And I said, let's make it happen.
So we met Jimmy, and then we find out the little car that Jimmy brings.
What's kicking, Jimmy?
What's up? What's up?
So yeah, this is gonna be exciting to fit this big wrestler guy in this little bitty Falcon.
A kind of cool story. This was my 50th birthday present to myself. Midlife crisis, whatever you want to call it, but I'm okay with it.
He's got a pretty long list of modifications he wants to do. Yeah, what do you want to do for a motor, Jimmy?
I've got a plan for a hot little motor. I'm thinking, and to all the Ford folks out there, I'm not doing LS. And this is if it fits.
Oh, it'll
If it
fit.
fits, I'm thinking a Coyote.
Oh, make it fit.
I'm thinking Coyote. I'm thinking Coyote Illuminator.
Ah, okay.
You're going all the way to the top.
Nice.
Yes, I'm thinking Coyote. Maybe a Supercharged. Keeping it Ford all the way.
Big boy motor.
Yes, so,
This is gonna need to be raised up. So
yeah.
we'll have to come up with something cool.
Well, that's why it's here, because you're going to come up with something cool.
All right.
That's why it's here. I'm excited. But my wife's big caveat when she let me do this, she said, honey, I want to pick the color. And I'm like, ooh.
And you said,
Ooh, I said,
okay.
yes, ma'am. I said, yes, ma'am. I said, yes, ma'am. I said, yes, ma'am.
Yeah, gum. yeah, no more gums.
Got any more
No
gums?
more gums.
Well, Jimmy, we appreciate the opportunity to work on it. We've never worked on one of these, man.
Dude, like I said before, it needs an iron resurrection.
There it is, man. Chad, I see you've been laying some tape on this car, man.
Yeah, been checking these lines out.
How they look, man? Not good?
From the door forward, we're good. A ton of body lines here that are coming together that